Surprise. I'm going to wait for people to jump in, but I thought we could hang out for a bit. So hopefully people show up. And if not, I'll delete this video and it'll be fun. For all of you watching from the future, this is my iced coffee. Someone's here. Hello, someone. So feel free if you're joining in. That's me, Desiree. Hi, it's just us right now. Oh, there's 5 of us now. Never mind. So hop on the live chat and let's just chat. So if you have questions or anything, or if you want to ask any questions about BTS or Dimash or anything. Wow, so many of you. This is great. Arume Moonwatcher, Camilla Gian. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Kathleen Bevan, Elizabeth, Pritha, Anna, Nawaf, Julia, Ree. Hello, everyone. Hi, everybody. How's it going? So feel free, just start tossing out questions and let's talk. I can see the live chat, so we'll just hang out. I have a much better camera than I had last time I did one of these, and it's going to be really fun. Hello, everyone. Head Sedgehog, thanks. Hi, back to Chicago. I need to get out to Chicago again. I haven't been in a bit. Camilla, is it Camilla or Camille? You can type your pronunciation. I'm not going to say who my bias wrecker is, but I'll say right now, a minute and a half into this, I will announce my bias wrecker on Friday. So next Friday's video, actually, it's probably going to be Saturday. I think next week's video is going to be published on Saturday, so I'm going to announce it then. Wundervolk from der Schwarzwald in Deutschland. That's where my family's historically from, is the Black Forest in Germany. We're from Gegel, Germany. It was a little village there. So hello back. Moonwatcher wants to know, what's my favorite short film? That one's really tough. Maybe it's recency bias, but I think Awake was the most just fascinating from a filmmaking standpoint. They all were, but I thought Awake was just an incredible, incredible approach to telling a story and blurring the lines between the abstract and symbolism and, again, realism. And I thought it was incredibly well done. Rithavi, no, he's taking a nap right now. Arume, thank you. This is a brand new hat. I love Stitch. I used to be able to do a passable imitation, and now I can't anymore. It's just like, Krista or Hannah Moon's family. Family means nobody gets left behind. And I haven't seen the movie in a long time. I don't know if that's even close or if it's just like a bad Gollum voice. Maybe young Gollum. I don't know. Camille. Okay, I got your pronunciation now. What is the next video? In general, the next video is going to be it's going to be a Dimash reaction. I've got a couple new artists. People on my Patreon know who they are, but I got a couple new artists that are in the pipeline as well that I'm going to be watching. And like I've said, once I move, I will hopefully be able to dedicate more time to just creating content, whether it's reactions or original content, just because I'll have a little bit more free time kind of figuring out my place in New England for a year. So yeah, it's going to be really, really great. Let's see who else is. My favorite of all the short film songs. Ooh, Ree. That's a really, really good question. I think probably Lie, and not because I love Jimin so much. I love the orchestration. I love that it goes into a major key into the chorus. I think it's really well done. But First Love gives it a run for its money. I really like First Love as well. I have to tell this story. I was in Columbus. I was filming last week, as you guys know. Most of you know. Some of you don't care, which is fine. And I was driving down High Street, which is one of the main streets in the city, and I had my windows down, and I was kind of like blasting BTS. I don't normally listen to music with words on, but I just put on BTS. I'd already listened to some Dimash up the street, and somebody from the sidewalk just screams, "Oh my God, are you Army?" And I was like, "Yes, I am." At that point, but that was good fun. Let's see. I did see that Butter debuted. That's fantastic. It's so exciting. Been busy. Oh, Army Mom. Your horse had surgery. I hope everything's great. I love horses. I don't get to spend nearly enough time around horses. I was in 4-H back in high school and middle school and stuff, and I did a project called Horseless Horses, which is for people without horses. And it's meant for like early middle schoolers, and I did it as like a junior in high school, and I won the county. So I'm not trying to brag, but I beat the middle schoolers at that. So I'm just bragging. Lundefog said, let me get back up to it. It just bumped down. Can a baritone train in young age to sing like a tenor? Absolutely. So one of the things that I was taught is, because I think my voice was naturally baritone. I think that's where it was headed. But I was identified in middle school. My choir teacher said, we need to make sure that we're pushing your range up, because he knew that I really, I guess he saw that I could do musical theater, and he knew that most of the roles are tenor. And also just based on the way I look, I'm more likely to get cast in tenor parts. And so he tried to push me and say, it's okay if your voice cracks. It's okay if you need to, train that falsetto, but just push your range a little bit. And then when I was in college, I still had more of a natural baritone. And my voice teacher was really adamant about, we need to push your upper range. We need to push your tenor voice and get you singing pop. So he had me singing next to normal and the last 5 years and stuff like that to try to train it up. So ultimately, what's important is that we find comfort in where our voice is, and that we train with the tools that we have. And only with that can we expand. So if you saw my music of the night, that was pushing myself, because that whole nighttime sharpens. Or if you saw the Beauty and the Beast poster I had back here, when I was in Beauty and the Beast, and you can watch If I Can't Love Her on my channel from that performance, most of that song is really uncomfortable in my range. And so the music director and I worked really hard to figure out how to, find it more comfortably in my range. So that's a really, really good question. Let's see. I also love the vulnerability of all the solo songs. Alicia, that's a really good question. Alicia, maybe it's Alicia. Really curious, how did you stumble onto BTS in the first place? I really liked reaction videos. I got into them because I found out, I was just on YouTube one day and it recommended a reaction to Disturbed's Sound of Silence, which I love that song. And I was like, a reaction? What's this? And so I watched it and I was like, oh my gosh. And I spent like the next week just watching them, because it's like when you show a friend something and you get to watch their experience. If you watched my live stream last week, like that joy, I was like, this is incredible. And so I decided, hey, I want to do these and maybe talk about, not just a reaction, but maybe adding something to the conversation using what little I do know. And I was like, well, who would I react to? And my immediate gut was, I know nothing about this group, but I always see them on Twitter or on the news or whatever. I knew nothing about BTS except that they were a K-pop group and that they were very famous and apparently quite good. But I have to be honest, my expectations were a little bit low. I was kind of in that group that was like, they're probably overhyped. And so I got on Spotify and I looked at their #1 song, which at the time was Dynamite. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll just react to that. And that's how it started. And Dynamite, I was like, okay, this group's really, really fun. Like they're funny. The music video was funny. And I was like, oh, they're talented. And then I think the next one I did was Fake Love. And I was like, oh, they're like, these guys are artists. It's not just, pop. This is getting heavy, right? It's not just that. It is getting heavy. It's really as well. So I literally just stumbled onto it. Yeah, need to. The next BTS reaction, I do not know. I have to look at my list. I'm going to be doing them today. Let's see. Indonesia Morissette lovers. Morissette is on the list. So that will be coming soon. Yes, I have seen those requests. And I've gotten a couple of people asking. When I say I mean that I'd be cast as a tenor, there's things that casting directors look for when they're casting, and I've cast things as well. And it's a harsh industry. This is one of the only industries where you're more than welcome to not hire someone based on the way they look, which is illegal in most jobs. But in film and theater, that's the way it is. And so I have to accept that I look like a jerk. And some of you might be like, oh, no, you don't. But that's why I smile so much, is because when I don't smile, I look like this. And even with the hat on, right? Okay, well, Stitch Hat, maybe he's not a jerk. Maybe he is. But I had to embrace that I look like the frat boy, or I look like this kind of thing. And a lot of those, it's either that or I'm like the hero, tenor, lead, and that's the situation I found myself in. You guys might have noticed it just now. Everybody fixed posture, but that's why I'm so adamant about that, is because I have kind of bigger shoulders, and so I have to remember to pull them back because of the way that I look and the parts that I'm more likely to get cast in, which is why I try to take parts that don't fit that, so that I'm not getting typecast all the time. But that's sort of what it is. I'm trying to keep up with everything. Dimash, #1 on MTV US. Good. Dimash is incredible. He's absolutely incredible. I've been talking about BTS for a while here. I do want to take a quick moment and reference Dimash, because I truly think Dimash is the best singer in the world. No disrespect to anybody else, but when I was in Ohio last week and I introduced my former pastor and a former pastor's, she's like co-pastor basically at this church that I used to work for. And they were floored. We watched like 3 or 4 videos, and one of them was like, "Oh, we should have been filming," because their jaws just sort of hit the floor and they were dead silent for the whole thing, except for occasionally going, "Oh my gosh." We watched SOS, Agni Pietra, which I think Agni Pietra is my favorite of his so far. He's just incredible. So if you're here from BTS and you haven't watched Dimash, I highly recommend it. That's been the best part of this YouTube channel, is discovering new music, like Ginger doing Pisces last week, or what's their names? What's the girls K-pop group that I reacted to? I'm drawing a total blank. Blackpink maybe. Terrific. I mean, it's so cool to discover new artists that I maybe never would have heard before. Kristen, you want to hear about the things behind me in my room? So I love Paddington Bear. I did not grow up with Paddington Bear. I saw the movie and I just fell in love with Paddington Bear. I'm an avid reader. Some of you probably heard me mention this before, but I was an English literature minor in college. I was actually briefly studying to be a teacher. So I was interested in being an English teacher and teaching literature specifically. And so when I changed to theater, I still love books. So big Harry Potter fan. I got Lord of the Rings there, the Aragon series. What else do I have here? A lot of classical literature. So Leaves of Grass, which I joked about a couple weeks ago. I've got a book of Robert Frost poetry, Ivanhoe, some Charles Dickens. Let's see, a bunch of acting textbooks, all Shakespeare's plays. So I've had to sort of downsize my books, which has been hard to get rid of them, but I'm hoping that other people fall in love with them as well. I've got a Pikachu that I won at Cedar Point back in high school, and some pictures of family, some Star Wars posters, poster for my own film, Kadia, The World Within, that I wrote and directed. So some lightsabers that I used to play with as a kid. So let's see. Choose one favorite thing in my room out of all of them. You know what I'm going to have to say is I'm going to have to go with this. So when I was in Beauty and the Beast, can you guys hear me? Did I lose audio? No, I think just Kristen, try playing it back at some point, because I did answer your question. I'm so sorry. So when I was in Beauty and the Beast, the young man that played Chip, who was terrifically talented, his name was Tommy. All of us who were the leads, he got us figurines of our characters. And so I don't know if it's going to pull focus or not. It's not, so I'll pull it back here. But I got this little figurine of the Beast, and I've kept it right there because it was this incredible experience for all of us. We did the show for charity, but it was at a sold-out 3,000-seat theater, and it was just an amazing experience, and so moving. We were doing it for raising money for kids at Nationwide Children's Hospital. And so it was a really cool experience. And so, I think probably the Beast. I'm sure, like, I've gotten so many amazing gifts over the years from people that I've worked with, or just that I appreciate. And so, it's tough to decide out of all that. Let me go back up to what else is here. I think you just like so Midwestern Christian college group vibe. This is, I feel attacked. I am Midwestern, and I was in a Christian college group. And to be fair, I didn't dress like this then. I'm just fully embracing it. Yes, TXT is also on my list. From the Sound of Silence, that's YouTube recommendation engine at its finest. That's right. That's 100% correct. Let's see. I missed a lot of your comments, so I'm kind of scrolling back here. Team Tudo, yes. Guys, please go subscribe to Jacob Restituto. He's a great dude. We talk like really often. Thank you. I'm your favorite reactor. Oh my gosh. How have I found Dimash? I actually, when I would watch reaction videos, I saw his name popping up a lot, and I was like, I don't know who that is. And so when I started my own channel, people were requesting. They said, especially because you do musical theater, you need to watch him. And so eventually, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna try this Dimash guy. And I mean, you can watch the reaction for yourself. I was absolutely stunned. I would go around for a couple of days after that, running into people and being like, you need to watch this, and showing them the video. So. Yeah, Dimash is amazing. What would be my opinion about them if my first watch was something like Blood, Sweat, and Tears? Not Nakeeb. That's a really good question. I would have been really confused, but I think I would have been absolutely floored because Blood, Sweat, and Tears is the most symbolic music video I've ever seen. It's probably the most intelligent music video I've ever seen. You guys may not know this. My dad was a Latin teacher for a long time. And so growing up, I knew a lot about Greek mythology, and we studied a lot of sort of symbolism. He also taught English. So a lot of my passion for symbolism and for everything like that came from his teaching. And him and my mom would both read his books as kids and got us into reading. And so I have this love of storytelling from them, from my grandfather, who was a terrific storyteller. And so I think I would have been just absolutely stunned had that been the first video, but I think it was my third, so it was still really early on. Let's see who else is here. Just scroll past that Midwestern vibe. What songs was I moved emotionally the most? So I'm assuming that's across everything that I've reacted to. BTS's "Fix You" live was really, really powerful. I think just because I had grown an appreciation for them at that point. Spring Day, watching the explanation video of the music video really, really hit me, and that's all I can think about now. Dimash really got me with Agni Petra. I was sort of just watching going, how is someone capable of this? You know, how is someone capable of producing a vocal like this? And I was just sort of sitting there in stunned silence. And you know, you just appreciate artists when they exist and you're with them. So I think that that's really great. Have I listened to any? I have not listened to any BTS song that I have not reacted to, which is really hard. But Madzia, hello back to Poland. Thanks for being here. Let's see. I recognize some of the books I have on my bookshelf as a fellow bookworm. Yes, I love books. How do I feel about Cursed Child? That's a good question. I think I need to see it. Here's my thing with plays, guys. So many of you probably had to read Shakespeare in high school, right? This is my iced coffee. It's delicious. I'm gonna take a quick sip. I got ice caught in that. That's fine. That was really good. Oh, the pleasure of being live. So I think with Shakespeare, right? You had to read Shakespeare in high school and you probably didn't like it. I love Shakespeare and I didn't like it in high school because Shakespeare did not mean for what he was writing to be read. He did not care. He did not know that America was going to be a thing or that we were going to be studying it here in English class. He cared about getting enough money to buy drinks that night or maybe to take care of his wife. And I don't mean to sound callous about Shakespeare, who I think is the greatest writer to have ever lived. That was what he was about. It just so happened that he was brilliantly talented. And so Shakespeare did not write for us to analyze it. He wrote for it to be performed. And so if you want to enjoy Shakespeare, you need to watch Shakespeare. You need to watch The Hollow Crown, the BBC adaptations of Shakespeare. You need to watch Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet. You need to watch the Macbeth starring the wonderful Scottish actor whose name I'm totally forgetting. Michael Fassbender, Scottish or Irish. I'm so sorry. I probably just offended everyone in Scotland and Ireland. But you need to watch Shakespeare, and then I think it's almost impossible to not like it. I was at Actors Theater of Columbus last week, which is a terrific Shakespeare company in Columbus, Ohio, and I watched Much Ado About Nothing. And I said, oh, this is funny, but it's not always funny on the page. And so the same thing with Cursed Child. I think I need to see it because plays are meant to be performed, not read. And so, you know, as a writer, that's something that I have to think about is when I'm writing my action lines and my screenplays. I don't have to get poetic with it, and I shouldn't, because that's wasting space, because it's not meant to be read. It's meant to be performed and filmed, and you have to write for that visual medium. So I can't write what a character's thinking. That's useless. You can't show on screen what a character's thinking. You have to write what they're doing, and then the actor takes that and thinks about it. So that was a really long-winded answer. Let's see. What else do we have here? Sometimes I just sing things, which is really fun. Okay, let me scroll back down. Yes, plays are better seen than performed. Maybe it is lagging a little bit. I apologize. Thanks for Literature 101 class. I am loving this. Before the pandemic, I was actually in between acting jobs. I had just gone full-time with acting, but I was substitute teaching. And so if I didn't get, imagine you're like a student in high school, you've just eaten your Flamin' Hot Cheetos and you're drinking Mountain Dew, and then I walk in as your sub. You're like, oh no, today just went from bad to worse. But I would, if they didn't have Lesmus list for the next books that I need to get. Oh, I might have lost. Am I back? Okay. I think that I had a bad connection for a sec. So I'm currently reading the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson, and I absolutely love it. I think it's incredible, but those are 1,300-page novels. I don't have a lot of time to read, which sucks. Vacation soon, and I'm going to take all 3 books and maybe finish them in a week if I can. I'm really looking forward to it. But that Earthsea is on my list, very, very high on my list. Dionysus by BTS is on a list that I'm going to be watching soon. Francisca Octaviana, hello back to Indonesia. Thanks for being here. I'm really, really trying to read. Cedric, you are killing it in life. Oh, thanks, Terry KB. That's really nice of you. Any book recommendations? Recent faves? Yes, Alicia. So I love the Stormlight Archive. I just read the Golden Compass, that trilogy, and I thought it was terrific, especially as a person of faith. It challenged me in a lot of ways to think about new things. Obviously, Harry Potter, Aragon. I would recommend all those fantasy series. My favorite book, my second favorite is Great Gatsby. It was my favorite for a long time, but my favorite book now is a sci-fi about a pandemic, and it's called Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. Terrific book. It combines Shakespeare with sci-fi, with fantasy, with all these things. It's really great. So I super recommend it. So again, I'm trying to read all of your comments because you guys are so great. Look at everybody. This is fun, guys. We got to hang out more often. What's a movie that I adore that doesn't get much credit from other people? Is that Aaron Turnbull? Everyone, Aaron Turnbull is here. Aaron Turnbull was in my film New Exodus that we shot a couple years ago. He was in Beauty and the Beast with me. He is a wonderful, terrific, great actor and an even better person. So Aaron, thank you for being here. What's an underrated movie? New Exodus. The guy that played Silas just absolutely killed it. No. Underrated movie. Rise of the Guardians. It's an animated film from 2012 or 2013. Terrific score, great voice acting. Hugh Jackman voices the Easter Bunny. What more do you need to hear? I think it's absolutely great. I absolutely love it. So, Aaron, I know you asked that like 25 minutes ago, but here we are. Patrick Stewart in Shakespeare is great. 100% agree. My top 5 films of all time. Oh, Chronicles of Thomas Covenant. Okay, I need to check that out. Yeah, getting some Rise of the Guardians love in the chat here. Let's go. Top 5 films of all time. These are not what I think are the top 5 best films. Okay, so that's important. Not what I think are the top 5 best films. My 5 favorite, and these could change day to day, but just off the top of my head, if I was just going to rattle them off, number 1 is Moulin Rouge. It is my favorite movie of all time. I love Moulin Rouge. The Impossible, which is a film about the tsunami that hit Sri Lanka in 2005, and it stars Ewan McGregor, who's my favorite actor. You'll notice a theme here, and Naomi Watts and a young Tom Holland. It's a terrific, beautifully made film. Man. This is so hard. It's going to be weird because I don't think Paddington's in there no matter how much I love it. Star Wars: The Last Jedi is going to be in my top 5. Chronicles of Narnia: The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And number 5. That's a tough question. Because now you list them and then you get to number 5 and you're like, Abigail O'Hara, Meet the Robinsons is an incredibly underrated film. I completely agree with you. What's my 5th? What is my 5th? I don't have movies over there. What am I looking for? You know what? Grand Budapest Hotel. Grand Budapest Hotel. I'd put that up there. I love that offbeat style of humor. I think Wes Anderson's terrific. Shawshank Redemption, House of Alex. Shawshank Redemption is to me the best film ever made. Dr. Karunya, if I do not include Kadia, The World Within, I do love Kadia. I wasn't counting it because I made it. So that's fair. I think it's okay, Terry, to not like Citizen Kane. It's not for everybody. C to T, The Lion King, I did not watch it as a kid. We didn't have cable. We didn't have a lot of VHS. So I watched The Lion King 2 a lot, which I loved. But I do love The Lion King. Arume, Lord of the Rings is the best film trilogy ever made, and Return of the King is probably top 5 greatest films of all time. So I'm with you. Howl's Moving Castle. That's Studio Ghibli, right? I haven't seen much of their stuff, which I really need to. Into the Spider-Verse, top tier film, easily top tier film. Have I read Percy Jackson? Khadija, have I read Percy Jackson? Yes. I read The Lightning Thief 2 weeks after it was published. I got it at a book fair, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I read all the books. I just got 3 of them for free. So I've got, I think it's the Roman trilogy. But yes, I love them. I think they're so good. We're having a lot of all this great info I'm giving because Zero here in the UK. Happy to be of help, Sharon. Spirited Away, I need to watch. I watched one that was a break off. It was a guy that used to run Studio Ghibli. It was Mary and the Witch's Flower, which was terrific. I thought it was really great. High School Musical should probably be in my top 5. Let's be honest. Yes, I will have to. I can't do reactions to movies because it's just too long. It would take so long to edit, but I will. Maybe we'll do a quick talk after I watch everything, which is fair. Yes, Nanette, I wish the movies were better too, but if you guys didn't know, they are doing a Percy Jackson series on Disney Plus, and Rick Riordan is the executive producer and head of creative. So the author is running the show. It's great. I'm probably too old to play Luke. I'm hoping that I'm not, but I'm probably too old to play Luke, but I'm not too old to play Apollo or Hermes or Ares. So I would be so ecstatic. My favorite musical is Les Miserables. Les Miserables is my absolute favorite musical. Valjean is my dream role. The only thing that I'm scared of for Les Mis is having to sing Bring Him Home live, because that song is so hard. Just with the initial God on high, having to sustain that for a whole thing, terrifying. Army Mom OT7, did I enjoy Glee? I did not. And the reason I did not enjoy Glee has nothing to do with the show itself. It takes place in Lima, Ohio, which is 15 minutes north of where I grew up. And I was just like, no, I can't do that. Aaron Turnbull, can we get Aragon remade? Can we, please? Because I could easily play Murtaugh, and I want to do it. So yes, let's redo Aragon, everybody. Also, somebody asked what the map back here is. That's a map of Narnia that my older sister got me for Christmas. So I love Narnia. Favorite musical is Hair. That's good. Maybe next time we should categorize into top 5 by different genres. Oh man, that would be tough. We're getting difficult. Sharon, you got to go to see a musical. They're so fun. I love them. They're just wonderful. Yeah, I remember when there used to be 30 or 40 people in video premieres too. This is great. You guys are amazing. This is so fun. I like to just hang out. If I had all the money in the world and the opportunity, what dream would you make? Madzia first. That's such an incredible question. Second, I don't know what I would make. I think if I had all the money in the world all the time, I'd have to come up with something totally original. And I'm working on something that really excites me. But I think I would have to come up with something completely and totally original. I would just want to do that and see where my brain goes. I grew up on Narnia as well, Holly. I grew up near a woods that was in town. I grew up in town, but there was a woods behind my house, and there's a river that runs through. And when it snows, and then the snow would melt, the whole woods would flood. And then if it got really cold, the water would freeze over as a solid block of ice, and we would just go down and like play on it. And on our tennis shoes, we would ice skate. And I think for me, that's why I love Narnia so much. Is it was like that was my Narnia. So. Everybody had a crush on Prince Caspian. Come on. Was that Ben Barnes? He's in Westworld, and I'm watching it now. I think it was Ben Barnes. I think so. I have not seen Drive. I've seen a lot of movies. Hamilton Live. I did. I went to go see Hamilton. I won tickets when it was still in previews on Broadway. My twin sister and I got to see it before anybody else had really seen it, and we freaked out. And then I saw it a second time. I got to go backstage and meet everybody, and it was terrific. It was really, really great. If I had a Hollywood budget, would I rather make a movie or a musical? Ooh, Glucose Lover. That's a really good question. Probably a movie. I'd want to make like a series of movies. Deborah Stevens, you're from Dayton? What's up? My older sister lives in Dayton. I've spent a lot of time in Dayton. It's a good city. Narnia and Harry Potter are great. If I had to reshoot anything I've done in the past, knowing it would be better now, which film would it be? Super Hammock. What's up, Bryce? Probably Kadia. You know, I think for me, it's as an artist, I always want to look back on things that I made and go, I could do that better. I think that that's a healthy way to take and still be able to appreciate it for what I did. And Bryce, it's funny that Bryce asks this because he actually was a drone operator on Kadia. But I would just, you know, I've grown so much as an artist and as a director and as a writer that I feel like I could make it way better now. But I have to look at what I made for where I was, when I was, with what I had. And with that, I have to sit there and go like, I am proud of this. I'm really proud of it. So, yeah, that's a good question. Well, my thoughts on the Harry Potter movies, I love them. I think the Harry Potter movies are terrific. James Phelps, who played Fred Weasley in the Harry Potter films, was in Kadia the World Within, the movie that I made. So I have kind of a weird connection with them now when I watch them. But I think they're terrific. I think they're incredible films. I'm a really big fan. I have not seen Dimash's new instrumental. I am going to be doing a song soon. Who would I invite to sing in a musical out of the performers I've made reactions to? Dimash, easily. I'd put Dimash in Phantom of the Opera and call it a day. Put Dimash in anything and call it a day. I'd love to see Jin in there's a musical called Bright Star. And I'd really like to see Jin sing the song Heartbreaker from it, which is weird because it's got like a twangy, like the guy goes like, I know there's evil in the world. Like it's a very country sound, but I would love that. I think that would be really great. What is the most frustrating moment I experience as a director? I think it's just when you can't communicate effectively with an actor, and it's not the actor's fault, but you're just not getting what you want. And it's so hard to find the words sometimes because it's such a vision-based process that it's really, really hard sometimes to like what I'm doing right now. It's really hard to put it into words what you're trying to see, if that makes sense. Bye, Abigail. You have a great day as well. CC Land, I've not seen Puffs the Musical, and I really need to. Favorite part of being a filmmaker is creating. I think it is weird watching my friends in movies, but it's terrific. That's a good question, Point Grey Mom. Favorite part of being a filmmaker is, I think, the creating aspect of it because, again, not to get hyper religious with it, but I believe that we are created. I believe that's through the process of evolution, but at some point, something created something. God created something. I believe that was through the Big Bang, whatever. If you believe differently, great. We will all find out eventually. But I believe that creating is like the highest thing that we can do. And so I think that is what's incredible about it, is having this thing that started as an image or a line of dialogue or something in your head, and then you're sitting in a theater watching it. And that is, 3 years later or whatever, and you're watching all these people come in and maybe you have your image, and then the production designer comes in and goes, oh, I thought maybe this costume would work. And you're like, oh, that's so much better than what was in my head. And the actor comes in and says a line better than you ever would have thought. And, that's what's really incredible about it. Ice Boba, I will reveal my bias record on Friday. And Dr. Cunha, I would rather hang out with them. I think that would have to be it. I would rather just chill It would be really great. SETI merch, maybe. Someone in my family recently made stickers and then sold them to our friends. So that was fun. Tony, what sparked my passion for the creative arts and how old was I? My dad used to watch movies with us. He would watch The Sound of Music or Fiddler on the Roof or things like that. And my family, they got us in dance when we were kids. We started dancing I started at the age of 5. My sister started at 2. And it's not like we had a lot of resources growing up. And so that was something that they were really focused on. They made other sacrifices to make sure that we had a passion for the arts. And that has always stuck with me as something that I should always be incredibly grateful for. But it taught me about performance and the way that my brain can work, and the connections that has with my spiritual understanding of the world and the way that I function as a human. And, watching movies growing up, and my dad would say, oh, this is how they filmed that. And my mom has this great laugh. And so watching things that were funny with her would be great. And we grew up on, I mentioned earlier, we didn't have cable. So I grew up on Andy Griffith DVDs and I Love Lucy and The Red Skelton Show and Gomer Pyle USMC and Mary Tyler Moore and The Dick Van Dyke Show and all those old shows. That's what I grew up watching. And so I think, I function maybe a little bit differently because I didn't grow up watching what a lot of my friends would grow up watching, if that makes any sense. Do I play any instruments? I mess around on piano a little bit. I'm not very good at it, but I used to play euphonium. I played euphonium for 8 years. In high school, I was section leader in the band, and I was first chair symphonic band and had a lot of fun with it. And then I just stopped in college. Do I think creating or producing a play is easier than a movie? That's a good question, Purified Gold. I don't think so, no. I think they're both really difficult in different ways. Because theater has the inherent danger of you don't get a second take. If you mess up live, you mess up live. And there's no edits. There's no, you're watching something and you hope that it's working, and it's tough. So that's a really tough question. Harry Potter versus Star Wars, which do I prefer? Glucose, why are you doing this to me? I'm sweaty now. Probably Star Wars, but I don't want to pick. Favorite genre of movie to make and watch? To watch is fantasy, sci-fi, anything like that. To make, my recent scripts have all been dramas, and I think that those are really fun. Do I collect something like DVDs? I don't think so. I mean, I have my old Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I don't know if I really collect anything. Like Paddington, I don't really need any more Paddington stuff. I don't know if I collect things. It's a good question. Where do I find inspiration to create? What's been the greatest motivation or inspiration? Hiking. When I'm out in nature, I've talked more about this before, but a lot of my own spiritual understanding and functionality comes from nature. I grew up playing in the woods. After I graduated college, I really needed a break. Some of you know this during my interview with Jacob, but I had cancer while I was in college. I had serious mental health issues while I was in college. And so after I graduated, I really needed a change of pace. So I moved to Michigan for 3 months and worked at a summer camp where I was hiking every day. And I love, I don't live far from the Poconos now. When I move to Rhode Island, I'll be close to the mountains. And I love the feeling of insignificance when I can get lost in the woods. Not actually lost. I usually know where I am, but sort of it's just me and the trees and the wind and the birds and the bears. There's this feeling of insignificance that I recognize that I am just a speck of dust on a speck of dust floating through a giant universe that doesn't care about me. And in that, still, I am worthy of love, regardless of all that. That everything I say and do will fade away, but I still matter. And that to me is, that is just this huge spark of creativity to me. There's so many ways to explore that. So yeah. Ritz Blitz. I do not watch anime, but I've been told by a lot of people that I need to. I have nothing against anime. I don't watch a lot of things in general. I'm very, very busy. Probably too busy. I need to pull back on things so I can watch stuff, but I kind of only watch one show at a time. Jim Dawson, are people comfortable doing stuff like couple in the movies? So I assume like kissing and stuff. I think every actor has their own limitations. I have mine and things that I'm not willing to do and I'm okay with. And that's tough. But you figure it out, and it's a process for sure, but always about respect. It's always about mutual respect with you and the other artists that are involved. Glucose Lover, if you could travel anywhere in the world again post-COVID, where would I go? I want to go to Germany really badly because my family's from there. I really want to explore kind of the foundations and roots of where I'm from. I want to go to Ireland and Scotland. I want to go to London. I have some friends over there that I need to go visit. I want to go to Yellowstone really badly. Really badly. Soup's bad. Purified Gold. Do I paint or sculpt? I am the worst artist you've ever met. I am really bad at art, guys. Like super bad. SETI is about as good as I've ever done. So yeah, that's good. Directing versus acting. Pick one. Tracy 908. What are you doing to me? Acting. I never want to have to choose, but between the two, I'd have to go with the first love, and that would be acting. Yes, I was really playing the piano in that intro. I've never played Sound of Silence on piano before, so I was looking at the chords. So yes. SETI is a masterpiece. Thank you. SETI's very comforted to hear that. And I'm only gonna have maybe 5-10 more minutes because I actually have to go have a meeting, and then I'm gonna take a break, and then I have to shoot. I'm actually doing the next like 2, maybe 3 weeks of reactions. I have to shoot them all today because I'm gonna be on vacation, and then when I get back, I'm gonna be moving and stuff. Someone said, "What's my production style?" I guess like as an actor or as a director. I think there's a lot of different styles that are all valid. This will come as no shock to you guys, I guess, but I try to have a lot of fun on my sets, and we joke. It's chill. I try to make everybody comfortable, but at the same time, when it's time to roll, it's time to roll, and it's time to shoot, and we have to get done what we have to get done. But in comedies, I think it's good to keep it light. If we're shooting a comedy, it's good to keep people laughing and keep people engaged and keep energy up. If it's a drama, I think it's good to keep people laughing because it's heavy and it's tough and it's hard to do that unless someone really needs to focus on their character. And I try to read the room on that. Is there any role that I really want to act at least once in my life? Jean Valjean in Les Mis. I really want to do Jamie in the last 5 years. I'm worried I missed the boat on Gabe from Next to Normal, but that would be terrific. Jay Gatsby in The Great Gatsby. I would love to do that. Is it in my future? Hope so. Not really up to me, but I hope so. Let's see. Who else did we have? Being a famous actor versus being a member of BTS. I don't know. I once heard a quote from Michael Caine in his acting and film class, which is terrific. And he said something like, "I don't recommend being a celebrity because being a celebrity is the worst. But I do recommend being a movie star." And I'm sorry for the terrible Michael Caine impersonation there, but I think it'd be perfectly okay to be a movie star and just be acting in movies. I don't want to be a celebrity. I'm really okay with having a degree of separation there. But I would love to just be one of those actors that, in 50 years, people are like, "Oh, I've seen him in a bunch of things and I don't know what his name is." And that would be perfectly okay with me. I want to do this. I want to do this for the art of it and for, my passion, not for fame, I guess would be my answer for that. Do I like Peter Sellers type of comedy? I'm not sure I'm familiar with Peter Sellers. I really love John Mulaney. He's my favorite comedian. But yeah, I don't watch a ton of comedy, weirdly. Jimin is my bias. Yes, I love Jimin a lot. Purified Gold. Movie stars are celebrities, but I think that there is a distinction. So, like, for example, my favorite actor is Ewan McGregor, who's definitely a celebrity, but like you don't know much about his life. And I think that that's sort of a movie star type of existence versus someone like, where you just know everything about them and they're constantly being chased by, folks. I have no interest in that ever. Not that I'm talented enough to get to that point. And I'm just aware of where I am. I can have a career and I'm happy to have it. And for that, I'm blessed. And wherever it goes, as long as I get to act, I'm very, very happy. A roommate, yes, you can have my autograph if we ever get to meet. That would be really exciting. Sharon, yeah, I'd love to do more of these lives. We'll do a couple, maybe once every few weeks. We can hop on and just chat and hang out. That would be really fun. Top 3 favorite movie or music genres. Wow. Movie soundtracks, so movie scores, easily number 1, unequivocally. Number 2 is probably like chill, like coffee acoustic, that like sort of just very laid back vibe. 3, again, I'm not talking artists, I'm talking genres. This is weird. 3 might be, well, Broadway probably. I guess I was gonna say country because that's what I grew up with, but I haven't listened to it since 2013. But I do like it. So that would probably be my answer. The fun thing, you asked about autographs. I've gotten asked for autographs before, occasionally by people that know me. That is extremely rare. Far more often, it's people that think I'm Chris Pratt or I'm drawing a blank. Ty Sheldon, I think is his name. Was on Ready Player One. He was the lead in that. So I get asked for autographs from a bunch of people that think I'm somebody else, which, okay. But it's a fun, so we get through with it. I can do like a few more questions and then I'm gonna have to hop off. Yes, I am gonna do TXT soon. Someone from Nashville, I've had enough of country. That's very fair. Do I plan to do a dance video like when I dance? I don't know. We'll see. My birthday is September 1st. That's also my twin sister's birthday. Wow. Yes, probably fairly soon. Could I put Dimash in any type of genres? Yes. I think he can sing anything. I'd be fascinated to hear him sing country music. Like Blake Shelton's Old Red, to hear Dimash be like, in the Woden say, come on, somebody, why don't you run? Like, I'd love to hear Dimash sing like that. That would be fascinating. That would be so neat. Don't stress me. Thank you. Well, okay, Kashilia, I'm going to answer your first question. I don't want to say who the weakest actor is, but the best actor in BTS, just based on what I've seen, I'm going to say V. I think V's probably the strongest, but they're all very, 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 very strong, I think, from what I've seen. Dimash can rap. He did Be With Me. He rapped it good. My live lagging? I think my Wi-Fi kind of sucks, so that could be part of it. Ooh. Is it really bad? I don't know. I'm sorry if it is. If it is lagging, my apologies. I hope you all have enjoyed. This was fun. It was really literally spur of the moment. I was like, I've got some free time. Let's hang out. Let's chat. It'd be fun. So I think let's do like 2 more questions. If anybody has last 2 questions, it could be about anything that we've talked about or anything we haven't. Let's get real deep. Let's get crazy personal with it. Let's get crazy. But not too personal, because I'll just ignore your question if it's uncomfortable. Jim Dawson's watching me from Mars. That's incredible. Wow. You hanging out with who was the actor in that? Matt Damon? Let's see. Does anybody have Thank Can you come all the way to Philadelphia and only do this for like 2 weeks? That'd be really fun. What's the meaning of life? Sure, let's answer that. The meaning of life is to inspire, to create, and to do your part to make the world and the denizens of the world a better place than when you came into the world. And by denizens, I mean every living thing on the planet. And you, yeah. I think that's like the meaning of life, because what else really is it? I mean, we're born, we die, and all we really have is what's in between that. And you've heard the quote that you only live as long as the last person who remembers you. And unfortunately, I disagree with that, because I think the harm we can do can last a lot longer than the memory of us. Especially, you look at every gestures widely around the world. I think it can get really, really scary. So I think it's just to be a great person. I should have said 42. That's a better answer. We'll do one more. How did I meet my wife? Yes, a lot of you may not know that I'm married. This was sort of a surprising drop in Jacob's interview. We met in a PR class that I was in college that we were both in, and I thought she was pretty, and she didn't notice me. But I asked her out a while ago, so that would be, yeah. We met in a PR class. Now we're married. It worked out. Ha. Cool. Yeah, I think that's what scares me the most. I'm scared of ants. Like the bugs, not like my mom's family. I don't like ants. I really don't like ants at all, even a little bit. No, I just can't stand them. But I also scare really easily. So if someone jumps out at me, I like run into the wall. So that's good. Yes, my anniversary is next week. So that's crazy. 3 years. Tony, why haven't I introduced her to in reactions? She's very busy. She's in seminary right now studying to be a pastor. And so she's very, very busy being a master's student while I play dress up for a living. So she's been busy, but we've talked about maybe having her come on to do a video or two, especially like on the music video, because of the symbolism. So that would be really neat. But we've talked about it. That would be fun. But yeah, so that's neat. Okay, well, hey, I'm gonna have to run, but this was terrific fun, and what's the scariest movie I watched to date? The Conjuring. So scary. I love the Conjuring movies. Also, A Quiet Place, which isn't necessarily a horror film, but it is really scary, and it's terrific. It's terrific. I need to see Conjuring 2. So, hey, this was really, really fun. We'll have to do another one in a couple of weeks. It's great. I think it's a good opportunity to talk, a little bit outside of just the reactions, and just I can get to know you guys, and you guys can maybe get to know me a little bit, and we can have fun, because I really like this, and I don't just want to be a talking head that, I think that with my subscribers and with you guys, if you guys are going to, the Dutch, thanks, Kristen. If you guys are going to be putting time into my videos, I want to, I want to get back to that. So, yeah. So thanks for hanging out, and everybody, keep your posture well, drink lots of water, take care of yourselves, and I'm hoping to have my next video, which will be Dimash, ready on Tuesday, and then the next BTS reaction, in which I will announce my bias record, and I think maybe there will be some elements of it that are extremely unexpected for you. That will be on Saturday. Again, it's going to be, if I have time, next week, because I'm actually shooting 3 films next week, so it's a little bit crazy, but it's okay. Aaron, peace out. I really appreciate you. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate all of you, and yeah, be safe and be well, and take a moment, go outside, breathe some fresh air, and remember who you are, and that everything you've ever done has gotten you here. And we're all very grateful that you are here and that you exist, because you're great. We're all great. It's going to be really good. All right. I've said this is called a Midwestern goodbye. It's when you say goodbye 18 times. So it's really fun. All right. Jim, I'll see you on Mars. Yes. Goodbye, everybody. Have a wonderful Saturday. We'll talk to you.